Good morning. Oh, sorry, it's 12:06. Good afternoon. I'm going to talk to you about, I was going to keep this secret, private, teaser, tell you about it later, but I've decided to tell you about it now. As part of my EMELBY Gourmet range, I am also designing some little pochette, little purses, little bags, that kind of thing, as something I want to sell online, and I'll be giving away samples hopefully to my first 30 followers. So I just wanted to sort of share the project with you because I'm a very open person and a very transparent person, and talk to you a little bit about it. And again, explain why I have to get up at 5 a.m. As you can see, I'm doing, a million different things, but none of this stuff is... All this stuff is a pleasure for me to do, so I don't mind doing this. The only thing that's very, very time consuming, that's a headache, is all things to do with paperwork, hashtags and the social media. If it was just a case of putting up a post and leaving it there, hi Nina, it would be fine. But it's all the work goes in, all the hashtags and all the technical stuff and the Pinterest. So I wanted to talk you through... because I've done several trips to Montmartre. I was there yesterday. There was no Wi-Fi at all in the area, although there has been all the other times I've been. The Wi-Fi seems to have gone really bad, so I couldn't come on live. So I'm in my dining room. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'll just show Nina because she's my friend, even though we've never met. You're my friend, Nina, and that's that. I'm that kind of person. I'll show you. It's a beautiful sunny day. I'm trying to make the most of it. So I wanted to talk you through my project so that you can all be part of what I'm doing. So it started off that, I'm obsessed with my Vichy, my gingham. This is called gingham. So, it's called Vichy in French, but the more common word is gingham. So I want to do some shout outs to some people that are helping me in this project. I've tried to do every single thing on my own, but sometimes, it's just too much. Sewing is something I did 100 years ago. So I've got a couple of people, friends. One's a sister-in-law. She doesn't want me to say because they don't want me to say who they are. But I've got a couple of friends that are going to help me sew my projects. I've made dresses and sewn things quite a lot in my youth in Manchester, and knitted and done embroidery and that kind of thing. But I don't have the time, as you can imagine. So... these two friends have very kindly offered to help me in the short term so I can get my designs ready for the launch of my EMELBY jams, which I'm hoping will be in about 5 weeks. I mean, the jars are coming from Germany. The samples are coming next week. I don't want to put a date on something because I know from experience when you say a date and then it's something completely different, it's like you've let people down. So what's the point of saying it and letting you down? I'll just tell it you as I know it. So the jars are coming from Germany. I needed nice quality jars, and the jars that the farmer had were not the right quality for what I'm doing, because she doesn't do gourmet stuff. I'm doing a gourmet brand, so it's a different thing. So I have to buy more expensive jam jars than... Oh, you can see my underwear. I've got a little pile of underwear in the background. Don't look over there. This is what happens when you come on live. You never know what's going to show up. So the jam jars coming from Germany, I need them to be nice quality. Again, I keep insisting they're going to be expensive, these jams, so be prepared. They're not going to be hundreds of pounds, but they're not going to be cheap. I've tried to get the shipping costs down. They're going to be expensive. It's going to cost me... So it's whatever they charge me at the post office, I'm going to charge you. It looks like it's going to be €8 for 3 jams within France. or €8 within France. And I think it's not that much more expensive to send it to England. So that's the price for the 3 jams. I can't absorb that cost myself. So that's the price of the shipping. I might absorb some of it. I'm looking at my numbers to see what I can do. But if I sell these jams and I sell them at a loss... there's no point in doing them, is there really? And I just want to reiterate the concept of the jams and the expense of the jams. I talked about high quality produce. And the concept is you give them to somebody as a Mother's Day gift. As I said before, you don't go into Monoprix and buy 3 jams for your mum and say, Happy Mother's Day, I bought you 3 jams. Even if it would be the same price as my 3 jams, it's not the concept. that you would buy for a Mother's Day gift. So I'm hoping that my jams would be the concept that you would buy for the Mother's Day gift, or the colleague at work. You know, when you have that random person, a colleague or your boss, or the Christmas gift for the neighbour, that kind of thing, and you just don't know what to get them, or you don't know them so well, or you don't want to buy them something too personal. I want it to be that kind of gift where you think, oh, she'll love the jams, you know, nothing else, because it's kind of a generic kind of product and it's a very intriguing flavour. So to me, you can't go wrong. But if you buy somebody, you know, a body cream or a scarf or a, you know, the usual stuff, it gets boring after a while. So I'm hoping to reinvent the idea of giving a nice gift within the, I'm talking about 20 to 35 euro range for the 2 or 3 jams. I'm not talking about 50, 60 euros, but I'm not talking about 10 euros. Just to give you a rough idea of the pricing. You know, at some point I have to come up with the pricing, but the costs for me are going up and up and up and up and up. So it's pointless me doing it if I'm going to make a loss. Even at those prices, I won't be making any money. I'll probably still make a loss. But I accept that it's going to be a loss leader, which means when you start a brand, you have to be prepared to make a loss. So, Nina, you're my number one fan. I should have put you in my shout-outs. I've just done a list of shout-outs. You're gorgeous. Can't wait to meet you if you come to Paris. So, going back to my Vichy and my gingham, bizarrely, it's very, 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 very hard. I know it sounds strange to find a good quality Vichy. This is Vichy. Vichy is this gingham check stuff. It's very, very hard to find a good quality gingham in the whole of Paris. And I've been around the whole of Paris. I've looked online. I've looked in places in China. Impossible to find, not for any price. You can find it like 30 euros a metre, good quality gingham. Otherwise, it's this crap. So I've been to Montmartre, as you've noticed, about 5 times. And this is, look at this. So it's not good quality. But I bought loads of it to see if I could do something with it. So I've decided to use this as the lining for what I want to use, because it's good enough for a lining. And then when I went back yesterday, I found I've been so many times I'd given up hope. And the woman in one of these, you know, pièces à marché, she found in her stock somewhere, I told her my project that was at Wits End, and she found this better quality gingham. You can see the difference even on the camera. This is terrible quality. Can you see? Can you see the spacing and it's so flimsy, it's embarrassing. It's really bad. And this is much better quality, but much more expensive, obviously. So, and it's not the colour I want, not really. But I have to take it because that's what they have. And then she also had, which is also quite expensive, it's not amazing quality, but it's better than that, and it's not as good as this, and it's still expensive. So it's not the colour I want, but I'm buying things now according to what I can get. And now I want to do a shout out for my friend Alison in England, who has been amazing. I've got a friend called Alison in England. I'm going to tag her in this, and I found in my mailbox from England. She shipped this to me barely without telling me. She just called me and said, "What's your address, darling? Give me your address." And I'm like, "Why? Just give me your address, darling. Give me your address." She's a friend of mine who's actually been to my house for a meal in Paris. We've known each other for years, so she's been to my home. And she's got a fabric shop, and I came home and I found in my mailbox this beautiful, beautiful fabric that she sent me. So I'm going to do a shout out for her. And it's actually French fabric. It's from Paris, and she sells it in England. So she sent it to me. So she's fantastic. So I've decided I'm going to make something with these. I'm making little pochettes, meaning little purses, little bags, all sorts of things. I'm not going to really reveal that per se now, but I'm giving you the idea of the concept. And then I originally bought this beautiful gold fabric, also from Marché Saint-Pierre, to do a style tutorial. I was going to make like a sort of dress with it, and I cut a piece. I've been so busy. This is why I'm up at 4 a.m. At 5 a.m, I'm doing this kind of nonsense. I cut a piece, and I've ironed it so it looks nice on the edges, and I've going to do like a cat's bow scarf with it. And I'm going to do a dress that I'm just going to pin and show you. So when I say I'm going to do my Christmas styling, I'm not just saying it. Hang on, I'll just move out my husband's polo shirt. I don't just say things, just to sort of build things up. I build a rod to my own back, because if I say something, I don't like to go back on my word or pretend I didn't say it. So I said I was going to do Christmas styling, so I'm going to do Christmas styling. So along the way, I've been doing it. It's just doing the video and putting on the makeup and doing the editing. I'm not going to have time to do that, but the project is happening. So I'm doing some, and that's with my neighbour Barbara, who's got loads and loads of glittery stuff, and we're going to do a really good fun thing together, but we've not had the time. So that's to make a dress and a scarf. And then I came up with this idea of why not make a bag with the thing, which is what I've done. So I am going to show you a semi sample. So this is what I want to sell online. I might as well just show it you. This would be like for the Christmas, and it's going to have a gingham. Now it's a prototype, it's handmade. It's going to have a gingham lining, and it's going to have a little bow thing, and it's a wrist bag, and it's to have it's to put your gel and your mask in and your phone in when you're at a party. Just have a concept. Look, it's pinned, it's not even real yet. So it's the concept of one of those little like handbag things. It's going to have a better lining. You get the idea. And everything's going to have this. I found this lovely ribbon, which means handmade, because they're handmade, which I'm going to put on it. And I'm also going to have little purses. So the idea is, when you go to a party now they're saying the virus is going to be over quite soon. You can see my bra in the background. They say they're talking about 2024 for the virus to have this, that and the other. So in my head, we're going to be having masks and gel with us at all times. I walk around with a little bag with my mask and my gel in, and my earpods and my phone. And I find it really annoying because I'm pulling my phone in and out all the time. I'm always digging around in my handbag for things. So I came up with this concept because I love bows, I love the material, I love the Vichy, of having a little bag that you put on your wrist. I'm just playing with the heights with the ribbon. I'm going to make it smaller so it's higher. Little thing on your wrist that's going to be for your gel and your mask and your phone and your pods and some loose change. And I'm also doing some small ones for like a purse. And then I got really carried away yesterday, and I bought these beautiful fabrics, and it's like a silvery blue. I don't know if you can see in the light, but I've decided to take this purse thing to a whole nother level. I've decided to make it quite a big project, and I'm going to do like tote bags. So I want to do tote bags. This is not for straight away. The small ones I'll try and get through quite quickly, but I'm just planning ahead. If you're going to do a business, you can't just sort of sit around. You've always got to have like plan Bs and other ideas and everything. Now the jams are going to cost me a lot of money, and if I don't sell them or something like that, I'm going to be screwed. So I'm coming up with other things to support my business, and the things that I love, I'm passionate about, and they're my ideas from my head. So I want to use my creativity. So I found these beautiful fabrics. They're expensive, and I'm going to make tote bags, which I'll make for myself first, and I want everything to be lined with gingham. So it's going to be the concept of, it's going to be like this is a tote bag. It's not an evening bag. It's streetwear, Paris streetwear. I've mentioned streetwear before. Streetwear is where I like to be stylish, Parisian chic as an over 50-year-old woman, but I like to have a streetwear feel. So to me, adding this as the lining, as opposed to a satin lining, brings it down to streetwear. Then it's going to have like a bow handle, which makes it very me. And then I'd wear it with trainers. So I'm trying to get the idea of over 50 women don't have to totter around on heels and be all primmy and prissy, and we're not string set and pearls, not yet. We can still got a bit of youth left in us. So I'm trying to come up with ideas that are not mutton dressed as lamb, which is that expression meaning you're dressing too young for your age, and trying to be stylish. I mean, I dress in a way that's quite unusual. I wear T-shirts with slogans on. I buy clothes in the kids' Zara Zara kids department, Monoprix kids department. And I've got my own style, which, you know, you either like it or you don't. But I refuse to sit down and die because I'm over 50. And we can still have a good laugh and good fun. And I'm so delighted my neighbour's the same as me. She's got exactly the same age as me. And she's got closets full of glittery clothes. And I can't wait to do something with her. So this not good quality gingham that I bought a lot of, I'm going to use it as a lining because I think this is a good quality fabric, and then the lining, it doesn't have to be that good quality. So it's going to look beautiful, I think. A little bag like this, and then tote bags like this, and then I'm going to make little purses. So I'm going over to a friend today, which I really don't have time to do because it's this weekend and I'm supposed to be cooking, but I can't be bothered doing all that stuff. So I want to do this. It's so much more fun, and I've got to get on with this. I can't leave it. So I've got a friend. She's a very dear friend of mine. She's in her 70s, and she's got a sewing machine, and we're going to try and do some samples today. But I'm really pushed on time, but I'm really going to try. So you know, I went and bought the ribbon yesterday because you saw me in my marcher. I love this. I love this concept of the Vichy together with this handmade thing. I just love the way it looks, and I'm bringing in a bit of glamour to bring the three things together. In my head, I'm very clear about what I'm doing, and it's hard, you know, I can't show you the finished product, but I know where I'm going with this. And I thought these were quite interesting fabrics. It's like a rusty reddish colour. I wanted, because it's like autumn colours. These are like autumn colours, so they're really nice. So I've given you a few ideas of what I'm doing. This is another Vichy I found, but they don't have it in big quantities. So to sum up, I am doing loads of autumn styling. I am doing lots of Christmas styling. It's all in the works. It's just a question of timing. I'm just trying to see in my bag. I've got another little Vichy. Hang on, I'll show you another Vichy. I was going to sort of, you know, not show you, but I mean, I've shown you my knickers on the table and my husband naked walking around the house. So you might as well see my little pochette. So this would be the Vichy style. Again, it's not perfect. We've not got the right threads. You know, everything is much more complicated than you think. Otherwise, everybody would do this stuff. But this is the concept of the little pochette with that you put your... When I say you put your gel and your mask and your phone in here, I've made it the size of my iPhone, which is an iPhone 11. So it's a big phone, so it fits in here. So I've made something that is good for me. Let's all think about ourselves. So it's a little pochette that I put my phone and my gel in and my mask. Obviously, you don't have to use it for that. I'm not going to have a zip on it, and I'm not going to have any way of closing it because it's too complicated in this first round. And I like the way it hangs when it's open. So it's not, you know, you've got your phone in it, but you've got it on your wrist very close to your hand. So, and it's when you go to a party or when you're out for an evening, so you're not always constantly looking for your gel because it's become so commonplace now. People, you see them just, well, in Paris, you see people just pulling out their gels every 5 minutes. So it's something sort of pretty. So I've come up with a concept and an idea, and we'll see where it takes us. And I also, you know, I've been going to that Sostran Green. You know, I've been working like a mad woman, and I've also got this other type of pochette that I'm not got it quite right. This is my little Eiffel Tower purse that you can see I'm at very prototype stage. This is the sort of thing I want to give away for free. This is more for your earpods. I've invented this and I've not got it quite right. That's why I'm going around to my friend today. I want to call it because I live in Paris and I've designed it myself. I want to call it the Eiffel Tower coin purse. And it's for, you know, when your earpods get lost in your bag and that kind of thing. It's so you can sort of have a little pochette to put your earpods in, your metro ticket, your credit card, just or spare change or something like that, and it fits inside of here. And that is a concept I came up with for 100 reasons. One of them being every time I look for my earphones in my bag, I have to root around for them and my charger, because I always have a charger, my earphones, and a little power pack in my bag, and that. I've got a very open bag, so they sort of loose and hang out. So I've decided to come up with this concept, so it's useful. It goes in my bag. I mean, this is a beautiful bag that I bought. This is from that J.W. Anderson at Uniqlo. This is good quality Vichy. This is what I'd love to do. But this kind of Vichy is like €30 a metre. So I'm not at that stage. And it's got really good quality lining. But he's a serious professional designer. But I love this Vichy bag. And I got it in the sale for like €20. But I mean, it's everything in it. It's very, very beautifully made. But J.W. Anderson, he did this collaboration with Uniqlo. But he's a serious professional designer. I'm not a professional designer, as we know. I'm somebody that does a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I've got my own creativity streak, and I've got a different way of doing things. So I've got something, but I don't know. I'm going in the direction I want to go in. I know where I'm going. I look like I'm all over the place, but I know what I'm doing. So, I mean, it's nothing to do with jam, but it's to do with my story. The gingham, I'm always talking about bows. I'm always talking about silver and glitter and gold and trying to stay young at 50 and the cat's eye. So it's my story. It's nothing to do with jam. But it's part of, the Instagram isn't just jam, is it? The Instagram, I do thousands of different subjects. So it's more for the people that have grown with me through my Instagram. I only started, 5 months ago from scratch. So some people have been there from the beginning and they've seen my story unfold. So it's to do with my Instagram story, but because I'm going to have an online store, and I've not made 1 penny yet on this blog. Again, I'm an honest person. I've been at it for 6 months and not made 1 cent. So at some point, you can't just spend your days doing this stuff and not make a living. So, I'm a totally honest person. So that's why I have to have the bags to support me so I can carry on. That's why I ask people to carry on to support me on YouTube, because then you can get monetized with the ads, but nobody thinks of that. So, it's complicated because I don't want to have to stop doing what I'm doing because I can't afford to go on, but I've not earned any money. So that's the thing with Instagram, is that people who don't stop to think about it because everyone's so busy in their own world and they've got their own problems, or they're depressed, or they're worried about their weight, or they've got the menopause, or God forbid they've lost somebody in the family, or someone's very ill. So it's not important to support somebody on Instagram. We know that. We've all got our own lives and we've all got so much crap going on, especially this year. But at the same time, bloggers a lot of them get product placement and that kind of thing, which is not something I really want to do, get paid to talk about some crap shampoo and say it's the best thing since sliced bread. And, I'm not a fake person, so I don't want to really go down that path. So, it's not like people are knocking on your door offering you money because you've got some sort of talent that's unique. It doesn't work like that in the real world. So, I want to do it in a different kind of way to everybody else. I want people who genuinely like what I'm doing to support me. I'm not asking people to give me money. I'm just asking people to follow me on YouTube or to buy my product when I sell it. If I sell these little pochettes, it's a dream project for me. I absolutely love it. I'll be selling them at like $9.95. It's not like they're an arm and a leg, and they'll be nice quality gingham and they'll be well made and they'll be done. And the smaller ones, I'm giving these ones away for free for the first 30 people, but don't worry, it'll be nice quality. And so that's going to be part of my project. So it's a long video. Sometimes I like to be very long and it gets on people's nerves. But I've decided I'm not going to apologise about anything anymore. This is the way I'm doing my blog. I've started it from scratch 6 months ago. I've come a long way. I've done a lot of things. I'm absolutely exhausted. I've got to go and make bread this afternoon because it's the Jewish New Year and you're supposed to make like sweet bread, like the chalot. And Saturday and Sunday, I can't do any posting. I can't do any messaging. I can't even look at my phone. I have to turn my phone off for 48 hours, which probably isn't a bad thing. And I'm supposed to pray and thank the Lord for everything that he's given me this year. And it's a time of reflection. It's a serious time, but we have lots of sweet things like the honey and the dates and the figs. And then the following week is Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement, for anyone that doesn't know, which is the big pardon, as they say, where you ask for forgiveness from people. And so when I say when I'm saying I'm not posting for 48 hours. Don't worry, I haven't disappeared or anything like that. So I'm supposed to make honey I'll just make some pear and apple cakes and some bread this afternoon, but I can't because I'm going to do the sewing because that's my priority at my friend. So if anyone's got a quick recipe for some honey type bread, I mean, I used to make bread all the time. I know how to make bread. It's just that I just need something quick and easier. I don't have time to go wading through all my recipe books. So there you go. I've been having this project of the gingham and all this stuff on the back burner. I mean, I've had it going along for several months now. That's why I keep going to Montmartre. I know you think I go to Montmartre to sit in cafes and eat carrot cake, but that's my treat to myself because I get up at 5 every morning and I work till about 1 in the morning. I've had 4 hours sleep for the past 6 months. So if I can't go to Montmartre and have a piece of carrot cake every once a month, then it's not worth living, is it? Or, you know, I have a salmon and avocado salad once every 6 weeks in the Japanese restaurant next to my house. I'm not some princess sitting around in cafes all day, very, very far from it. So this has all been going on in the background for the past few months. I want to share it with you too. You know, I don't want to just throw it there out of the blue. And thanks again to my friend Alison. I cried when I found this in my mailbox. And she sent me a load of beige gingham as well. She didn't tell me what she was doing. And she sent me, look at this. Can you see the quality of the fabric? Do you remember when I went to Zara Home? I talked about good quality bed linen. And it's something I never really paid that much attention to. In fact, in England, I had terrible duvet covers. I had duvet covers made of this rubbish. It was just, you know, £10 from British Home Stores, my duvet cover in England. And I thought that's what bed linen was. And even in the US, they're not so into that kind of thing, like good quality fabric. It's a French thing. In the US, it's very different. You've got the culture of living in England and then the culture of living in the US. And I also lived in Jerusalem for 5 years. And now I lived for new people. Again, this video is getting longer and longer and longer, but that's the way I am. I lived in Manchester for 28 years. I lived in London for 5 years. And then my roommate in London, Wendy, who I had a good chat with last night, who I love, she says, we're going to live in Israel. I said, are we? She said, yeah, we're going. So she says, I'm not going without you. This is my roommate, Wendy. So I said, I don't really want to go and live in Israel, not at the moment. And she says, well, I'm not going anywhere without you. And she literally got the apartment. She said, I'll do everything. She got the apartment, the paperwork and everything sorted. And we went to live in Israel together. And we lived together there for 5 years. She was my roommate for 10 years. And she calls me her wife. And she's very happily married with kids. But she called me last night and she calls me wifey. And she follows me on here. Wendy, I give a shout out to. I love her. And we went to Israel together. And we lived there for 5 years. And she got married. That's why, otherwise we'd still be roommates if she hadn't have got married. She got married first and left me. And I got married many years later and had some fabulous roommates since and before Wendy, but she was my number one. She was my 10-year roommate. She was fantastic. We have been through a million things together. The boyfriends, the broken hearts, it was like in a film, all the shenanigans we got up to, and she's fantastic. And she lives in Manchester and I love her. So that's my Wendy story. And so I lived in London for 5 years and I lived in Jerusalem for 5 years, which was, I'll talk about another time. I'm not going to sort of throw that in there among all this stuff. And then I had a great job in Jerusalem, funnily enough. The job was in Beit Shemesh, but I had an amazing job in marketing. I was really, really, really lucky. I started off just coming in as helping out a little bit, and then they sent me all around the world and they sent me to live in New York. So I was very, very, very lucky. It was a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and I had a 6-year visa to live in New York and to be renewed if it worked out. And after 2 years, I can't explain it. I just wanted to come and live in Paris. So I moved to Paris and I've been here for 17 years. So I've been and done and seen, and, you know, I'm reducing it down to a piece of fabric, but the culture in the countries are all so different. French people want really, really good quality stuff. So I can't make do with rubbish quality and sort of try and get away with it. You can't have a website called EMELBYGOURMET.com and have sell crap on it. So I've gone and bought expensive fabrics that cost a lot, and I've no idea if anybody will buy this funny little thing. But if I'm going to do something, I've got to do it properly. And even something like a little ribbon is expensive, or a zip. You know, I looked at the zips yesterday. It's €2 for one zip. One little zip is like €2 or $1.25 for a tiny one. So I don't want to get busy with zips, and they're complicated and everything. Hi, Sketch Manchester. Hi, Ben. How are you? Oh, Ben's this fantastic artist. I always say it every time you come on. Every time you come on, I'm talking about a girl thing. I've got to sort of find some more boy subjects, really. But I'm talking about my design projects, and I'm just about to finish up because I'm going to get on with my day. But I'd love Ben to do a painting of... I've got this lovely artist called Hannah Wilson. I just want to do a shout out for Hannah, who's done a drawing for me. She's a bit similar to what you do, Ben, but I didn't know you then. And she's lovely. She's a girl from Leeds, and I found her on Instagram, and she'd done that beautiful drawing of me standing in the apartment with the windows, and she's put Rue MLB, which is the name of my brand, as the street name, and she's put geraniums and all my pots of jam all over it. And it's something we did together I've had it for about 3 months now, and it's for my Shopify store. I've shown a little bit of it on Instagram, but she does line drawing, and it's absolutely beautiful. I'm so happy with it. I'm going to do a shout out for Hannah in this. I've not had time to do it in this video now. And she's a young girl, and I found her on Instagram. I'm swinging this over for you, Ben, really, in a way, because I'm going into your subject area. Ben also does kind of line drawing, fabulous things of Manchester, but you're not from Manchester, I don't think. And I looked on Instagram, and I knew that I wanted a visual identity for my Shopify store that wasn't just photos of jams. And I love those kind of line drawings, they're called, like sketches and that kind of thing. I love that kind of stuff. It's something I wanted to do myself when I was young. I wanted to be somebody that designed those kind of sketches and drawings. I did art A-level at Stan College in Whitefield, but I wasn't actually very good at drawing. It's not something... I'm not talented at drawing. I'm creative, but it's not the same thing. And I'll tell you the story. I'm going on and I'm rambling on, but some people don't mind. I'll tell this story to Ben. When I was in Manchester, I went to a very religious Jewish school where we didn't have any art. So I'd never, ever drawn or done anything with art. We were too busy doing other things. I did 16 they were called CSCs at the time, like O-levels. We did 60. I've got 16 O-levels from that school because we did so many different subjects, but none of them were art. And so I was very sad all the way through school because I was the only artistic person in the whole school. And we never, ever had one art class. We never, ever did anything. We did sewing and we did cooking. I've got a cooking O-level. It's the most bizarre thing. It's called domestic science. I've got a CSC in domestic science. I've got an A in domestic science, but we never did any art. So in a way, it's quite bizarre. Again, I'm talking my personal life, and not everybody likes it. I get in trouble, but I don't care. This is my blog. In a way, it doesn't matter, because what happened was, because there was no art at school, and I was so desperately wanted to be a creative person, like since I was very little, I'd do what I'm doing now. I'd buy things like this and I'd make things. So it sounds weird, but because I didn't have it at school, I'd spend every single evening. What else are you going to do in Manchester in the winter, in the grey, dreary winter evenings in Manchester? You finish watching Starsky and Hutch by 8 p.m. It was in the 70s and 80s. And I'd go up to my room and I'd buy this stuff. And of course, everybody thought I was mad, which is a personal reason why I'm doing this now at 54, is to stop people thinking people are eccentric or odd because they do this kind of thing. So we didn't have art at school, and I was desperate you can only take things so far yourself without having any studies in art. So I was desperate to do art A level, and I wanted to leave that school, and I was 16, and my family thought I was crazy. And I said, I want to go to Stan College. They've got an art A level there. And they were convinced I wouldn't get in because you've got to have an art O level to do art A level. And I've never drawn. I don't think I even owned a pen and a paper. I don't think I even owned a pencil. I was never somebody who would draw. And I remember this like it was yesterday, and I'm 54 now, so it was like 40 years ago. I forced my mum to take me to Stan College because I couldn't drive and I was 16. Hi, Food and Roof. And she took me to Stan College in Whitefield, and we went to see the art teacher, Mr. Moss. And my mum sat there and she says, my daughter wants to do art A level. She's never drawn anything in her life. She's wasting your time. I swear to God, that's how it happened. Can you just tell us you can't do the art A level so we can just go? So he said, well, hang on a minute, just hang on a minute. So he said, and he looked me in the eye, I remember it like it was yesterday. He goes, well, what makes you think you can do art A level if you've never done art O level? He goes, have you got a portfolio? I said, I don't have a pen and paper. I've never drawn anything in my life. Drawing's not my thing. And I wasn't going to bring in the things I'd made. I'd made lots of things, created things, but you feel silly. I was 16. So he said, well, I want you to go home. I think I might have told this story already on this Instagram, but never mind. He says, well, can you find a piece of paper in your house? So I said, well, probably. He says, I'm sure you've got a pencil. So I said, probably. So he goes, well, I want you to go home tonight. I want you to draw your dinner table, what you're having for dinner tonight. And I want you to have a can of Coke and a bag of Golden Wonder crisps, and because they were hard to draw, and a round plate. So I said, okay then. I'd never drawn in my life. And I came home and my family thought, well, she's never going to be able to do that. Well, the biggest problem was we didn't have any Golden Wonder crisps because they're not kosher. And we had a kosher house. So I had to go out and buy the Golden Wonder crisps and the can of Coke. And of course, we had the round plate. So I did this drawing, which I've never drawn, but I did it. It was terrible, but I did it. And I went back the next week to see Mr. Moss, and he said, you're in. I said, are you kidding? He said, I remember it like yesterday. He said, the rounds of your plates are perfect for someone that's never drawn. You're totally fine. So I did art A level at Stan College. I didn't do well in it because it was painting and really a lot of drawing, and I got through it, but I'm not a drawer. But I also did the history of art A level as well, which I loved. And, we learned all about the Impressionisms and the artists and all Toulouse-Lautrec and the Belle Époque. And I always knew I was going to live in Paris, so that was fascinating to me. But the art A level, it was really, really hard for me. It was really, really hard. Because if you've never drawn in your life, I don't know if they have today something like an art A level, people who are creative, because creative isn't the same as drawing. So I got through it. And I also did a computer science A level, and I also did French A level, and I did computer science A level when there were no computers. It was with a pen and paper and a blackboard. So everybody thought I was insane. And at 54, I'm a totally normal person, and I'm very, I can program, I can, even when I did my Shopify site, it wasn't from the art A level that I could program, because it was back then, it was like a very strange thing, but I've always been quite techie, not because of the art A level, it's just the kind of person I am. And when I did the Shopify site, just to do the page where you've got people to sign up to your newsletter, you've got to put some code in there. And again, for people that think it's so easy, I'll just do what she's doing, I'll go and find a farmer, I'll go and find some jam, I'll do a Shopify site, you try and do what I'm doing. It's not easy at all. Just to do the Shopify site, to get my logo to be on the Shopify page, I had to do some coding. I mean, anyone could probably do it, but if you're not tech savvy, you wouldn't be able to do that. And so even doing a Shopify site, even though it says it takes 5 minutes, nothing takes 5 minutes. I got my head stuck on that for like 2 hours one afternoon when I really didn't have the time for it. And of course, I did French A level because I knew I'd live in France. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, please like, please follow, please tell the world that I exist. I'm just starting out and I'd be really grateful for the follow. Feel free to put your comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today and I'll catch you on the next time. Bye for now from Paris.